Well, here I am again. This is Bob from Daily Enduring the Truth. And to be honest, when the day started, I was sure I was going to be able to go outside and talk to you about the importance of exercise, even when you're under quarantine or a stay at home order or something like that. Uh, in our stay at home order, we're allowed to leave the house for exercise purposes. And I was just going to walk a little bit away from the house and come back in. And this morning, it was such a beautiful day to do that. But by the time I'm making this video, it started to drizzle and rain, and I didn't want to be all wet when I was making the video. My son would tell you I'm all wet anyway. Uh, Folks, again, it's getting serious, and hopefully you're doing the self quarantining. Hopefully you're doing the isolation, mainly because you don't want to get anybody else sick. I always worry when I go out because, well, I'm an asthmatic, and as an asthmatic, I cough a lot. And I'm always afraid that people are going to be worried because of my coughing that I'm going to give them something, pass something on that I'm not passing on. I don't have a fever. I don't have any of the other symptoms. I just will cough occasionally, and I know it's an asthma cough. Now, my joke about it in the grocery store is that it's line clearing syndrome, but it's just asthma. Anyway, it's serious. But in the midst of that, as God's people, we need to have a ministry mindset. How can you find ways to help others? Stay in contact with somebody. Keep in touch. Just text them or call them and ask them how they're doing, because the communication is going to work. We've done some things this week through Zoom video. I did a live prayer meeting last night. Not many of you showed up, but hopefully you know I prayed for you. And through all of this, we need to recognize that we're learning new tools that we can use in the future, even to share the gospel. And so, while it's a difficult time, and while we need to be careful, and while we need to make sure that we focus on the things going around, we need to find ways to continue reaching out to people. Many years ago, John Naismith talked about trends that would come in the future, and we're living in that time now. And he called it a high touch society. Well, now we're not supposed to be high touch, but we need to find ways to reach out and touch people, and that's part of the importance and the message we have as Christians. Now, we don't serve with fear; we serve with power and confidence in God. And as this week's study is on First John chapter 3, the last half of the chapter, from verses 11 on to the end of the chapter. And throughout that part of the chapter, John continues to focus on love and how our love for each other shows that we have the love of God in us. And he also talks about the importance of acting on that love, and which is an important message during the time of the coronavirus issues that we're dealing with right now. What are you doing to help others? I know if you're having issues, financial issues, because you've lost a job, because you've had other concerns, please feel free to contact me. Do it privately, obviously, if you can. You can ask me for my email in the comments or something like that. But for the most case, if you've got issues like that, you can go to your church and say, "I need help," and you can go to people that you know and say, "I need help." And we as God's people, we as God's children, need to be ready to help people. This is an opportunity to show God's love. Now, we have lots of different opportunities, and nobody wants it this way, but this is our opportunity to show God's love to people in need. And John makes the point, and it's a lot like what James said, what does it mean, what does it say about your faith if you say to somebody when they come to you in need and say, "Go in peace, be warmed and filled," and you don't help them? And John makes the same type of point when he says, "Love not only in words, but also in deed and in truth." So find ways to show your love and grace to others. As always, I will have a link to the Bible study in the description. As always, I encourage you to subscribe. If I get so many subscribers and I have so many people looking at this, then I can do some other fun things with the videos to liven them up a little bit. So I appreciate your help subscribing. And again, as always, if you have a concern or a prayer request, please feel free to share that with me. You all have a great day. God bless you, and know that God is in control, and we're going to get through all of this.